Let me tell you something unusual about silence in today's digital world. We live in a time where almost every moment is shared. People post their food, their faces, their emotions, their wins, their losses. Even pain is edited, filtered, and uploaded. But some people don't do that. They're online every day. They scroll, they watch stories, they read comments, but they almost never post anything themselves. They stay invisible. You probably know someone like this, someone who sees everything but says nothing. Or maybe that person is you. And the question people always ask is simple. Why? Why would someone choose silence when the world is begging for attention? Most people think it's because they are shy, antisocial, or boring. But that explanation is too easy. The truth is much deeper. Behind that silence is psychology. For many people, being silent online is not a lack of confidence. It is a choice, because silence gives control. When you don't post, you decide what the world does not get to know. You decide which parts of your life stay private. And in a culture that pushes people to share everything, that decision is powerful. Social media slowly changes how we see ourselves. It teaches us to think in images, captions, and reactions. It rewards being loud. It rewards being visible. But people who don't post often see through this system. They understand that not everything that shines is real. They notice how happiness is performed, how success is exaggerated, how pain is hidden behind smiles. So instead of joining the performance, they observe. They watch how people behave. They notice patterns. They think before reacting. They feel deeply, but quietly. Psychologists have noticed something interesting. People who post less often tend to be more introspective. They spend more time thinking about their thoughts and emotions. They rely less on likes, views, and comments to feel valuable. Their sense of worth comes from inside, not from a screen. They're not trying to prove who they are to others. They are trying to understand who they are to themselves. And in a world full of noise, that kind of self-awareness is rare. Because let's be honest, most social media posts are not just sharing moments. They're asking for something: approval, validation, belonging. Every post quietly says, "Look at me, notice me, tell me I matter." But when someone stops posting, something changes in their mind. They stop measuring life through reactions. They stop turning experiences into content. They stop thinking, "Is this post worthy?" and start thinking, "How does this feel to me?" They eat without photographing the food. They travel without tagging the place. They laugh without recording it. Life becomes personal again. Many people who don't post today were once very active online. They shared everything, their thoughts, emotions, achievements, until one day it started feeling heavy. They felt pressure to keep up, pressure to look happy, pressure to show progress, pressure to perform a version of themselves that others expected. They weren't living anymore. They were maintaining an image. So they stopped. Not suddenly, not loudly, just quietly disappeared from the feed. No announcement, no explanation. But silence doesn't mean they stopped feeling. It often means they started protecting themselves, protecting their emotions, their memories, their peace. There's a psychological idea called ownership of experience. It means some moments feel more meaningful when they belong only to you. The moment you post something online, it becomes public, open to opinions, judgment, misunderstanding. So some people choose to keep their experiences private, not because they're sad, but because they want those moments to stay real. Of course, not everyone stays silent for the same reason. Some people stop posting because social media makes them anxious. They fear being judged. They fear being misunderstood. They fear being ignored. There's a kind of pressure psychologists call self-presentation anxiety. It's the feeling that you are always being watched, even when you're not posting. For young people especially, that pressure is exhausting. So they step back, not because they don't want connection, but because fake connection feels worse than none at all. And here's the irony. The quietest people online often have the busiest minds. They think constantly. They imagine deeply. They feel intensely. They are not empty. They are overflowing. They just choose silence over spectacle. In a world where everyone says, "Look at me," choosing to stay unseen becomes a statement. It says, "I exist even without your attention." And that choice slowly changes how they see life. They start noticing small things again. Time feels slower. Conversations feel deeper. Moments feel more real. They are no longer performing life. They are experiencing it. This connects to how the brain works. Every like, comment, or share releases dopamine, the same chemical linked to reward and addiction. Over time, people begin to crave that feeling. They post not because they want to, but because their brain wants validation. Now imagine someone who steps away from that loop, someone who refuses to tie their self-worth to reactions. That's not disinterest, that's discipline. People who don't post often have an internal sense of control. They believe their value comes from within, not from approval. They don't need proof that they matter. And studies show that people who take breaks from social media often feel calmer, more stable, and more satisfied with life. Because when your identity is no longer constantly judged, it becomes stronger. But silence isn't always peaceful. Sometimes it hides burnout, exhaustion, emotional overload. Watching everyone's perfect moments while struggling quietly can hurt. So some people leave not because they're bitter, but because they want to survive. They realize they don't owe anyone a performance. They don't owe happiness. They don't owe explanations. And this is where many people get it wrong. We confuse visibility with value. We think being seen means important. But some of the most important moments in life happen unseen. Growth, healing, change. No cameras, no audience, just you. People who live quietly often feel life deeply. They notice details others miss. They are present, and presence is rare in a world built on attention. So the next time you see someone who never posts, don't assume they are hiding. Maybe they are healing. Maybe they are thinking. Maybe they are simply living. Because being unseen is not the same as being insignificant. And sometimes, the truest way to exist is quietly.